Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SA Accounting Academy. Here's a short clip on one of our previous webinars. I hope that you really do enjoy it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jeremy Alderson-Smith. I am from DraftWorks, head of business or head of sales and marketing, if you like. I just want to assume everyone can hear me. I see some messages coming through. Good morning, good morning. Thanks very much for joining us. A much talked about topic, the whole migration to cloud. Now, we at DraftWorks have been very involved in the whole migration. Those of you who know us, we've been around about 15 years or so, and we launched our cloud solution about 3 years ago, and we've seen a massive take up on the migration to cloud. But generally, the purpose today is more theoretical, but not all theoretical. We're going to have some practical use cases. We get some tangible benefits out of the session. We will try and summarize a lot of the stuff you probably already know. A lot of the stuff you've probably been parking for now. The whole migration topic or the whole migration activity is not necessarily an easy thing to do. We will talk about the steps in how to migrate your practice into cloud, either gradually or if you are starting out really new, hitting the ground running by starting off on cloud and making your life a bit easier. We all know what the benefits are. We all know there are still some concerns around the migration to cloud, but hopefully we'll address those. So just so you know, this the presentation is a summarized PowerPoint summary. We don't like to put too much detail in PowerPoint slides. So the value you get will be through the audio and the discussions and the practicality around using some of these tools. Okay, so if we have a look at the agenda for today, you may have seen on your invite, we talk about automating the accounting practice or the accounting practice of the future. So I just want to get some more space on my screen. So yeah, we discussed the effect of automation in the accounting industry in recent times. There have been a lot of independent studies that measure this, where they do surveys to various accounting practices and small businesses around the world. And you can see the effects of the take-up of cloud differently globally. We're pretty much up there in South Africa. Things have changed. People have seen value in the migration, but we will be looking at that. Also look at some of the challenges that have been overcome by automation of the accounting practice. I think a lot of the challenge that goes without saying, a lot of challenges have been addressed. And then the pace of technology and how it affects adoption. Okay, so the whole story about the early adopters, the innovators, the laggards, late adopters, we'll have a look at that and look at some of those stats as well as the effect of automation on regulation and compliance. Now, that's obviously a big talking point. You've got companies are getting a lot more regulated. Compliance has become a big factor. We've got new-ish topics like making tax digital, XBRL, environmental and sustainability reporting, and so on and so forth. So we'll touch on that a little bit and see how it may affect you in the future. And obviously, we'll go on to what does the future hold for us. So what is coming? We have a few hunches of what's coming, but you never can tell because the pace of technology has stepped up so very quickly. Once we've had that general brief or the theoretical discussion, we will go on to practical use cases. And I've invited a couple of guests to join me, two companies that are in the coalface, probably very similar to your practices and how you operate. And they may practically be able to shed some light for you on the whole migration into cloud, what their experiences have been, the pitfalls they've experienced, the resistance, which there always is, and so on and so forth. Okay, so what we'll also then do is, like I said, we are going to get a bit technical, look at the practical uses of some of these tools available. Okay, so I just want to rearrange my screens a bit so I've got a better view. And there we go. That's fine. Okay, what I would like to do first and foremostly, we ran a survey in November, I think it was, with a different audience on simple question: how far are you with cloud adoption? So if I may, the attendees, if you would like to, I've set up a poll if you'd like to cast a vote, and we're going to discuss that at the end with some of my guests. So I'm going to switch to the survey, and we're looking at adoption rates. And I hope this works. I'd like you guys to just have a look and vote. So how far are you with cloud adoption? All right, you're getting there, still old school, but giving it a serious look. And when we say old school, we're not just talking about desktop, but also your standard operating procedures and how you operate. And whether you are fully cloud, some of you are already fully cloud. And then the last one, one of my colleagues put in the last thing, I didn't really have it, not interested right now. Well, if you weren't interested right now, you wouldn't be on this call. And then the last survey, there were 3 or 4 people who said they weren't interested right now. So let's leave the poll open a little while longer. We've got 24% voted so long. So I'm just going to give that a bit of time so we get some decent responses. Good, I'm glad this is working. And I'm going to take a screen grab of this so we can do a comparison and maybe warrant a bit of discussion. So no one's not interested right now. That's good. I'm going to give it a minute or so. Okay, so half of you have voted. Other half is still making coffee, I suppose. But that's fine. We'll have a look at that. Okay, there are a few more. Just give it a while longer. Thanks very much for voting. Those of you who did, not all of you did. I see no one's not interested right now, so that's quite cool. I'm going to end the voting and we will share the results at the end. I'm going to go back to the presentation. Okay, so we've done our poll. How far are you with cloud adoption? It's a very, very general question, but we're talking specifically in your accounting practice. Okay. What I'd like to do is address some of the common buzzwords, okay, which we all have heard of. But basically, if you had to do a Google search on Wikipedia or wherever, these are the terms that pop up first, and we will touch on them through the rest of the presentation. Now, if we just run through them quickly, what is automation? Well, basically, it's the use of machines or computers instead of people to do a job. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. That's machines or computers, but when it applies to us as accountants, it would be more on the computer side. And then there's digitization versus digital transformation. Digitization is the basic process of converting information from a physical format into a digital one. So once again, things like making tax digital, XBRL, and so on and so forth. So instead of that, the whole dream of the paperless office, it's converting these documents or information into a digital format. Okay, and then allowing you to store it in the cloud, manage it, collaboration. Digital transformation is a bit more detailed. It's the process of using digital technologies to create new or modify existing business processes, culture, and customer experiences to meet changing business and market requirements. Sorry, typo. Okay, so that's a bit more broad. If we go to the next slide, purely on digital transformation, and this is based on research, there are 4 key areas that have been identified when a survey was done with Microsoft and EY, Ernst & Young. There are 4 key areas in digital transformation. Okay, so if we look at the 4 components here, predominantly it is empowering employees, engaging customers, optimization of operations, and products and services. So if we look at the first one, empowering employees, well, what does that mainly mean? Okay, what does that mean in a nutshell? So when you are looking at digital transformation and automation, firstly, you obviously need buy-in from your staff. Okay, if everyone's not on the same page, it's not going to be a success. So you would need buy-in from the staff. Do they share the same dream with you? Okay, do you have, obviously new people coming into your business, the younger generation, they're going to be all for automation. They're going to be wanting to do it right from the start. The older school guys, there may be a bit of backlash, resistance. The way we've always been doing things is the way I'm used to. hesitant to move forward. So, but like I said, luckily in general, those coming to the job market and the majority of the accountants surveyed as well are very, very into the whole process of digitization and automation.
I hope that you enjoyed that video. For more of our webinar videos, go to www.accountingacademy.co.za. Thank you and have a lovely day.